Hello and welcome to my channel. This is my first video and I'm going to talk about TV show reviews that I watch, fashion. I may create another channel for that, and like stuff that I find interesting, like shopping at the Dollar Tree and the way you can save things and hauls and other stuff like that. Well, this is my first review and this is going to be The Haves and the Have-Nots season 4 episode 14. First of all, I would like to say that when the show first started, I really did love Candace in her character and her being that bitch. But since last season, I say, like towards the end of last season, it seems like Veronica has taken that role and taken over the show as the head bitch in charge. Ever since Amanda died, it seems like Candace has lost her, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? She has lost her edge. You know what I mean? Because she really did used to be that bitch with no caring attitude. She was always a step ahead of everybody else. But it seemed like now, since Amanda died, she just keep getting caught up. And then she's like just taking L's left and right. First with Jim and the money, and now with War, and then with the guy Oscar. I really do hope they revisit that storyline, because I really want to know what Candace is going to do to Oscar whenever she finds him. But right now she's focusing on getting this money for War, and so he won't basically kill her or Benny. And with that being said, let's just get into the episode. The episode begins with Wyatt being dead. Well, allegedly dead, because we know how Tyler Perry liked to do. He liked to see how he did Quincy. It took Quincy about 9-10 times to actually finally be dead. And the DA is in the room just standing over the body, panicking and stuff, and the other police guy telling her not to worry, that it's not her fault, which it really is, because I think she kind of knew Wyatt was a drug addict or whatever, but she was so focused on getting Jim and Veronica and all those, she just threw that to the side and just went against her better judgment. And she know when Catherine threatened her, that Catherine actually meant business, and you can actually see the fear in her face. She didn't even have enough guts to go tell Catherine, because she probably knew that Catherine probably would have snapped right then and there. So the other guy volunteered to go tell Catherine what's going on. But we still don't know if Wyatt really dead or not, because one, they haven't flipped him over, and two, we haven't seen him actually checking the pulse. They claim they called the medical examiner, but we haven't seen the medical examiner come there. Wyatt is still hanging on the side of the bed where all his druggy friends left him and took the money and the rest of the drugs. So with that being said, we don't know if Wyatt really dead or not. So we're just gonna go with it and see what else gonna come up. I don't know. One thing I want to say, I can't stand Hannah. Like, I don't know, ever since, I know she's supposed to be this likable character, or this godly character, but the way she does her daughter, like, I don't know. Like, it's just like, she's supposed to be so loving and Christian, like, but she has so much hatred in her heart for her daughter, and she can't get over it. And this next scene really irked me. When she was standing outside, when she walked to Candace's house in the middle of the night in this white neighborhood, and ain't nobody called the police on her. Girl, the way the people getting shot up these days, just by you walking outside, you can get shot, black in a white people neighborhood. But anyways, she walked around, called herself walking into Candace's house, and Benny following her in the truck. They end up stopping in front of Candace's house, and the white nosy neighbor come outside like, lady, why are you up in the middle of the night? You just gonna watch Candace's house all night long? That's the only house you watching? Like, you can't go to sleep? You ain't got no friends? You ain't got no children? Well, you do got children, because your son is the gay police officer, but you sitting up here watching Candace's house all night long. Something is wrong with you. And then Hannah, the lady was sitting there talking to Hannah, introduced herself. In the meantime, Hannah going back and forth with Benny, and she called Hannah a young lady and all this stuff, and then she just basically just dragging Candace, and Hannah sitting up there agreeing with it. Now, like, the thing is about me, like, even if you related to me, even if I can't stand you and I'm dogging you out, no random stranger is not gonna come up there and just say if I'm beefing with my sister and I'm cussing her out, no random stranger ain't gonna be sitting there and cussing her out, because first of all, she's still my sister. We may be mad at her for the moment, but she still is my blood relative. And the way Hannah was sitting there letting that lady just berate her, Candace, and agreeing with her, it's just like a yes man slave attitude that Hannah has had this whole entire series. Like that, I think that's probably why I really don't like Hannah like that, because it seemed like she's just catering to the white people. And that lady sitting there looking like, she actually was sitting there looking like motherfucking Paula Deen, if you really want to ask me. And then she had a nerve to almost say colored when she was describing Quincy, then call herself talking about African American. And Hannah just sitting there like, whatever. And then when Hannah finally told her, when she said she had the video of him or the pictures or something she was going to show her, and Hannah was like, let her see. And she was like, yeah, you can't show him. And she was like, why I can't show him? She was like, the lady was like, well, who is he to? She was like, he's my son. So she let her up and ran back in the house. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, when she saw Benny burying the guy in the backyard or something, like, why is she so scared of Benny? And then she talking about she got cameras poking at Candace's house, like showing at Candace. She can't do that because that's illegal, lady. You can't have cameras pointing at somebody else's house. There's video voyeurism or whatever you call it. And most of them is a felony in most states. So I don't know how she's saying she can have cameras pointing on Candace's property. They only supposed to be on your property and in your driveway. People have laws like that. That's the whole point of the laws. You can't just be sitting there videotaping other people in their other house and what's going on their own private property, because they have a right to privacy. But Tyler Perry don't know about the laws. So you see how he had Wyatt going into jail and breaking the other guy out. Like, you could just do that in real life. When we know you can't do that. This is a TV show. And then the next scene go on to Landon and Jeffrey. Now Landon is so scared, especially when he reading this article about Maggie on his phone, how she was actually killed at Veronica's house. So he actually go off on Jeffrey and was like, y'all always up to something. Everybody in here is always scheming and stuff, when they really, really are. And when Jeffrey was trying to read it off his phone, he ended up taking his phone. Landon told him to get his own phone. Landon ended up packing up all his stuff because he was ready to go. He didn't even bother folding new clothes. He just stuffed the clothes and everything. I'm thinking, Landon, you got to at least fold it, because all that stuff ain't going to fit in there unless it's folded up. Because even if you balled them up, it ain't going to fit right. So that was a little quick scene with them. So Landon ended up leaving, kicking Jeffrey out or whatever. So Jeffrey ended up leaving. And then we get back to Hannah, Benny, and Candace. Now she over at Candace's house asking her about the baby and what he had. And so I'm like, why are you asking Candace? She ain't gonna do nothing but lie. She's not gonna tell you what you want to know. Like, even Candace probably do know her baby, but I don't think she gonna tell Hannah. I mean, Hannah's they're begging for this girl baby. You hate this girl with a passion, but you got her to be begging for her baby. If I were Candace, I wouldn't give you my baby either. If you don't like me, even how you gonna not like me but love my baby? It trickled down to you supposed to love your own kid first. But she told her what she wanted to hear. When she was saying, I was saying, I don't believe none Candace saying, but we just gonna roll with it. Benny just standing there looking all stupid. And then the lady told her, and then she finally told her, the lady said somebody came there and anybody came out, and she described Quincy or whatever. So they really got shook then. And Candace told Benny to take her home or whatever. So they ended up going home. And Hannah standing in the kitchen questioning Benny about Quincy going there, and Benny can't even lie right. He like, I'm thinking in my head, Benny at least try to pretend like you don't know what's going on. He looked so guilty, and Hannah wasn't even picking it up. He just looked so guilty, and he looked like slow, like real life slow. I don't know. But Hannah was really getting on my nerve with her hatred for Candace. And then like throwing all these suggestions of Candace giving the baby to Quincy. Why would Candace give that baby to Quincy? That don't make no sense. The way she was hiding that baby and stuff, you think that girl gonna give Quincy her baby? Just all willy-nilly, he just gonna come knock on her door, she just gonna let him in? Hannah, come on now, you know something fishy about that story. About him never coming out. Hannah ain't put two and two together and asked her, did she actually kill him? That's what I thought she was gonna go at. But she was throwing out all these other wild, crazy scenarios, but we never know what's gonna happen. And why do black women always cuddle their sons? Like all this crazy junk that Benny done did, she get mad at him for about 5 seconds, then she go back loving him. But Candace done did some stuff too. She never forget Candace. Like she always think Candace up to no good and all this stuff. Even when she caught Benny out there with Veronica, she ain't say nothing. She just looked at Benny like she crazy and got in the truck. Now that would have been Candace. She would have been cussing, trying to hit her, fight her, and all this stuff. It's just really crazy. I don't know why women cuddle their sons like that, especially the black ones, and they be so hard on the daughters. Then we get the next scene with David and Jim. David had the nerve to come apologize to Jim for beating his ass. Which I'm still shocked about, because all this season, but the previous part before they took the break, David kept saying what he gonna do to Jim, what he was gonna do to Jim. Jim didn't seem scared, but he finally lived up to his wishes when he thought he had done kill Veronica last episode when it was actually Maggie. He told him about Maggie being dead and stuff. So Jim had the nerve to ask him, was he in love with Maggie? He said no. And he asked him, was he ever cheated with Maggie? And he said no. And I'm like, Jim, I'm like, David, why you sitting up here lying like that? But I guess he don't want anybody all up in his business since Maggie did. She can't talk and say that she don't fuck David. But did she? I don't remember if she told Landon or not. I think she hinted to it around Landon, and Landon figured it out. And then I know he ended up telling Jeffrey that they had sex, I think. But I don't know why they was in the line like that. I guess because Maggie can't come back and say yes we did, so they just gonna have to just roll with what he said. I don't know. I guess. Then we get this scene with Catherine and Hannah. When Catherine finally get the phone call from the police people, but she won't answer the phone. So Hannah take it upon herself to call the police like they really gonna give her some information. I'm like, girl, these people don't know you. They're not gonna tell you nothing about these people that ain't got nothing to do with you. Them not your kids, not your grandchildren, them not your babies. You're not their lawyer. Them people not gonna give out any information to you. So Hannah told the police officers to wait before they go over to the house. So she gonna go over there because she know Catherine ain't gonna answer the door. So they end up going over there. And she was just standing outside. So before Catherine come on down and stuff, they cut back to the scene with Benny and Veronica. When Benny was when Hannah was looking for her keys so she can go over to previously Hannah was looking for Benny so she could take him to Catherine's house. And when she just walked outside, she just passed Veronica or whatever. So Veronica called her, "Hey little Hannah." That was it's so funny because I can't stand Veronica, but I like Veronica sometimes. I have like a love-hate relationship with Veronica. I know when the season first started, when this series first started, I couldn't stand Veronica. But I had like this love-hate relationship with Veronica. Like, she I don't know, she pushed the limit, but she pushed it just enough to get a reaction out of you. But she told me, "Hey little Hannah," and Hannah ain't even saying that. Hannah just got in the car and drove off. So once Benny standing on the porch talking and stuff, Benny telling her about David coming to the house and doing something to his phone at the shop so he can't get no money, telling her to talk to him and tell him to stop so she turn his phone back on or whatever. And then like Veronica going back and forth to my she want to go in the house, she want to see the room, and then Benny was like, "This is what you old women do? Y'all try to get with a young man and try to make your husband jealous." So she began to read him from A to Z, telling him how his wee look and how she'll have a man with money, a man with status, and all this stuff if she want to make David jealous. And she was like, she was up there using him for sex. And she told me the sex wasn't good anyways. But that don't make no sense because ain't that what you came over there for? You so happy that he called you to come over there? Then she started moaning about how women be faking it and all this stuff. And I'm like, Veronica, girl, just stop. You making yourself look crazy because he done called you out on it and you just hurt because he called you old and you really claim you really weren't using him because the sex wasn't good, but you ran over there and dropped her down when he told you to come over there when you thought you was getting some of that thing. Came over there with a dress and all, easy access. So I'm like, Veronica, girl, just stop. But it was funny when she was reading Benny because Benny do seem slow and he really ain't nobody to make nobody judges of him. Probably if you are just sleeping with him. But any other thing like take him out in public, to speak and all that stuff, that's just gonna embarrass yourself. And why women always go the small penis route when they breaking up with somebody? Like that joke, I ain't gonna say it's a joke. That term and everything else around it is just, I don't know. It's played at this moment because that's the first thing people always go to when they breaking up with somebody, or the men be like, "Oh, your cootie cat whack anyways, and I'll cheat on you with this and blah blah this, blah blah that." It's just annoying at this point. So we get the final scene when Catherine wouldn't open up the door. So Hannah uses her spare key and let herself and the police in, and Catherine finally come downstairs And the police finally told her what happened to White. Well, he just said White is dead. He ain't like tell her no explanation or nothing like that. So Catherine ended up breaking down and just falling out. And I don't know, I actually felt bad for Catherine because I don't have any kids, but imagine losing 2 kids within the same year. I know that has to be rough. Like, no matter how fucked up the kids were or how the family is, whatever, that's still your kids. That's still your family, and you still want them around. It's just like some parents who kids just get on their nerves. And then once they leave and go with somebody or go to family member or something like that, they still end up missing the kids. I guess because they actually mixed them getting on their nerves or whatever. But I don't know. I don't even think White is really dead. I just think they just playing this up, or he's just going to be unconscious or something like that. But I don't know. I don't think White is dead because they still have him hanging outside of their bed for at least 4-5 episodes. Well, since the break, before the break, so at least about 4-5 episodes he been hanging outside of their bed, and we haven't seen anybody check a pulse or anything. So to my understanding, I don't really think White did. I just think he probably, Tyler Perry gonna make him unconscious or whatever, and he gonna probably be in a coma like Benny was for a whole season, and then he gonna come back with a vengeance and all this stuff, and Catherine still gonna get into Jennifer the DA ass. I really do think that. But that's all for this episode. Next week's episode will look really good, and I can't wait to come back next week to talk to you guys about it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thanks for watching. All of my social media links will be in the more info box. So thank you. So tag a friend, tag an enemy, and tell them to watch me. Bye.